So, before I continue on with the video, I want to mention, thank you for 200 subscribers. I don't know why that happened. I genuinely don't know why the subscriber count went up when I've just been away in Mexico, but I am absolutely grateful that all of you are once again finding my silly little ARC videos entertaining enough to subscribe. So, once again, thank you all for subscribing. Uh, I'm not really sure what else to say, so I'm just gonna continue on with the video, I guess. So here we are on Genesis for our main goal of completing missions in order to fight the Alpha Master Controller. Or the Master Controller, whatever you call him. So we just have to sit through and do all of these missions needed. And these missions are a little bit more infuriating to do than the Genesis 2 missions, for the main reason that they are not fun. And these missions also take place in the open world. So it's really annoying, especially when racing along, you just get blocked off by some random dinosaur that just won't move out of the way. And the next set of missions that we have to deal with are the hunt missions. Now these missions are basically the exact same over on Genesis 2, except for one key difference over here on Gen 1. These bosses are a lot more difficult. These hunt missions are a lot more difficult to complete since the creature has more resistance and deals more damage compared to the ones over on Genesis Part 2, where even in beta, these things can take a while to kill.
You've come so far, Survivor. This place was once a vibrant ark, filled with wondrous creatures, before it was contaminated and compromised beyond repair. Long ago, Helena confronted her fellow explorer Rockwell here, when his obsession twisted him beyond humanity and reason. Even Helena could not truly put an end to Rockwell's madness. And he's survived here in the shadows all this time, feeding on poison and growing stronger. You have to finish what Helena started. If we are to save Earth, Rockwell must be stopped. If there's anything left of the person that Helena knew, Edmund would want to be stopped. Steel yourself, Survivor, for here terrors await you.
Have you come here to challenge me? I'm afraid you've made a fatal error in judgment, Survivor.
And this is Rockwell, or at least what Rockwell became. Trapped inside of the broken ark. Being tortured or something, I don't know. I don't really know. Now, there's a lot going on here, since they recently added dialogue to the fight, so now we're actually speaking, as you can probably hear in the background of me. So now, I want to break down his speech, but most of the interesting stuff that he says is kind of near the end of the fight. Because right now, he's kind of just taunting you, kind of just going, haha, look at me. I'm cool and epic, unlike you puny fucking nerd. So, he doesn't really say too much, so we're just going to skip over to nearing the end of the fight to kind of see what he's saying.
Don't you see? Without me, there is no future. What exactly is your plan here? Even if you could get past me to the surface. The world has fallen to titanic monstrosities that will snuff you out like a candle flame. It takes a god to kill titans, you fool.
So for this part of dialogue, Rockwell tells us that even if we do kill him, when we head back down to the surface, aka Earth, we still have to deal with the titanic monstrosities, which is why we should keep him alive so that he's the one that deals with them. And he's basically just trying to say, like, you know, if you kill me, you're just going to end up in a worse place and at a worse position because you're not going to be able to fight off these humongous beasts. That's kind of what he's trying to say here. Still kind of trying to taunt the player a bit. It shows how he has the knowledge of the Titans, since he's basically become one with the Ark. But let's just continue moving on.
Surely now you must understand why I've done what I've done. Only through my divinity can mankind hope to take back its own. I will assume the mantle of Recreator and return life to the world. It's not too late for you to show me some measure of difference. Perhaps I will be moved to make an example of you if you lay down your arms. Agree to serve me, and in return I will imbue you with the share of this power I've gained. I can afford to be magnanimous. There's plenty of infinity to go around. Or you could continue your petty crusade and gain nothing.
So at this point in time, Rockwell believes that he's a god. He is basically able to do whatever he wants. And so his goal is to head down to Earth to rebuild it in his own vision. And he even gives us the offer to, I guess, be like his servant. So he'll give us his power here to make us, I don't know, more powerful. Even though he clearly has lost his mind in every way, shape, and form. So yeah. So in other words, Rockwell basically wants to become a god. At the very least, thinks he's a god. So let's just continue on with the rest of the fight.
Don't you see? I'm the only one of us capable of taking down our true adversary. She'd be so cross with you if you injured me. That one waiting for us down below. Yes, I know about her. I've heard her too, whispering to us from the ruins. She's a ghost, the unquiet spirit of Mother Nature herself, haunting her own gravesite. Oh, how she begged me to beat you to the surface, so I could scare the monsters out of her poison garden. I can help you avoid the fate of others she knighted into her service, like that Santiago. Edmundium could be your Excalibur, the magic weapon to slay a dragon. But reconsider my good faith offer. You must. I won't beg. Others have left me for dead before. She left me to die alone in my dark. But I can reconstitute myself. I advise you.
So Rockwell says a bunch of stuff here, so we're just going to quickly just go through what he says. So the first notable thing, he knows about the one who waits. So the one that's been speaking to us in like the intro cinematics for the arc. So Rockwell knows that they are speaking to us and that we are in her service. So we're basically helping her out with her goal. And Rockwell is saying that she's just a ghost. She is just an undying spirit still haunting this world, and how she is lying to us, where many others came before us, before we did, helping her, and they all died. They all just never made it. And so Rockwell is almost trying to convince us, don't go following her, because if you follow her, you're going to die. So he's still, once again, trying to get us to join his side by offering Edmundium, aka Element, as our Excalibur, our magical weapon to slay the Titans and all that other stuff. So he's still trying to convince us to join him, but he's also trying to show that we should not be following Helena here. We should not be following her, because she is going to get us killed. And the next thing to talk about here is his line here before he gets cut off by me shooting his tentacle, where he says that he can reconstitute himself. So that's an interesting line, because that line gives us sort of an idea on how he got to the Genesis colony ship, where after we killed them here on Aberration, he presumably was able to rebuild himself and basically head into the ship. While the details of this event are not 100% explained, I have a feeling that in ASA, because they did announce that there's going to be a new DLC, a new story DLC for ASA, so I would not be surprised if that DLC would potentially explain how he got onto the ship. But that's basically all that I really have to say here. So now that we spoke about everything here, let's just move on to the ending cinematic, since that's basically all that he has to say.
It needed to be done, Survivor. Rockwell is finally no more, as surely nothing could have survived that arc's destruction. Perhaps in oblivion, there is a measure of peace for the man Edmund once was, and not the monster he became. Now that you've ended the threat from above, it's finally time for you to join me on the surface below. We must turn our attention to Earth. Everything you've survived has prepared you for this. You must confront humanity's past, so that we can restore our planet's future.